Football Strategy, or FS, is an intuitive football manager game designed for browser play. Our aim with this game is to bring players together in a real-time simulation of soccer, much like the popular games released in retail. One major difference between FS and other games of its kind is the player generation system, which ensures league stability at all times, as the clubs are run by real players or computer-controlled, to enable smooth running of the league and cup system. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the concept, players are given the role of a football club manager, and they control all aspects of the daily routines, just like a real-life manager does. Players are in charge of virtually everything, from training, picking out staff, operating on the transfer market, searching for promising youngsters, down to small details such as sponsor contracts, seating prices, and sale of club promo materials. Our intention was to create a challenging game with gameplay that resembles reality as much as possible, thus offering the ultimate realistic simulation experience. Once you register, you can set the fundamental elements of your club, such as your club and stadium name, and the country for which your club will belong to. FS supports almost all countries from North America, South America, and Europe, although only a select few for the upcoming beta for testing purposes. The choice of country will affect your league participation, cup seeds, and the gameplay experience itself, so be careful when choosing. All managers will have their own club profile that displays basic information such as public club news, transfer market, league placements, achievements, upcoming matches, and user information that are needed for everyday management. Managers will have two squads at their disposal to manage, the main squad and the U19 squad. Your main squad consists of players that are responsible for success and development of your club by playing games consistently and following your training regime, while the U19 squad is composed of potential youngsters, the future of your main squad, that have a small impact on your club structure, but they also have their own leagues and rating system. Normally in FS, a day ends at 2,200 hours server time every day, with scheduled maintenance of approximately 1 hour, during which the site updates and a new cycle is started. Each new team starts with 50 players, divided through both of your squads. Each player has a profile that displays main attributes, conditioning, and match performance. Perhaps the most essential attribute is conditioning, as the player uses it daily for training, matches, and other specific tasks. In order to be in optimum condition for a match, player needs a high condition status. A player cannot participate in any activities if his condition level is below 60%, which in turn hinders your team's chances. Condition can drop due to a training session and is dependent on the intensity of a match or the amount of playing time. Fitness determines his recovering speed, so the higher his fitness, the more likely he will be in good condition in a shorter time. Stadium is the main source of income for your team, mainly through ticket sales. It is essential that you make sure your stadium is matching your team's goals and size. A small stadium may have a detrimental effect on stronger clubs, while a big stadium can feel empty to smaller clubs. Player can customize the stadium, adding new seating, setting ticket prices, etc. While most new players will find our building screen appealing, just as the concept of expansion itself, it's best to carefully plan your expansion plans. Too much improvement could in the end drive you to bankruptcy and make you start over from scratch. You may also obtain amenities that will help you sign a contract with better sponsors, further increasing your funds. Managing your finances with care is essential, especially in the beginning stages of the game. Doing too much or too little will hinder your club, either by bankruptcy or by slowing your advancement. The training ground is possibly the most important part of your coaching, as it will allow you to customize your training sessions for main and U19 squads. The schedule is up to you, so try to be careful when planning out the training regime. Too much training is just as bad as too little. You will need to constantly find the balance to spread out the condition of players appropriately. The training ground will also enable your players to improve both physical and playing attributes, but most importantly, it will allow your young talents to develop and make their way to the first team. As they are the base of your team's future, it's good to think big and allow your youngsters to groom their potential from the very beginning. The game determines each player's potential for development. There are 2 training methods to choose from. Positioning focus, players train up for a specific position on the field, allowing the player to better perform in this role. And attribute focus, where players concentrate on a specific attribute to help them develop. although they can essentially still gain skill points for any other attribute that relates to the position the player is training for. However, on match days, no training sessions occur. Despite training, players can still lose skill points as a result of aging, non-playing, injuries, etc. Similar to Stadium, you can also obtain amenities to unlock better sponsors. The purpose of your headquarters is to manage club staff. The concept we aim for is to have staff of different skill levels, namely 3, Continental A, Continental B, and Continental C. When starting for the first time, you will be assigned a Continental C assistant manager and a U19 assistant manager. Recruiting better staff is a sound plan, but requires a lot of finances as they are very expensive. Again, we need to stress out the importance of managing the financial aspect carefully, as paying too much with a low-ranked club will not gain as much as you lose. Managers can hire a staff member based on Continental license, and it requires paying a fee to acquire a staff member, varies per license. If you fire him, his wage will still be charged against the team's budget for that week. Academy is where you manage and recruit future prospects into the U19 squad. Consider it a major part of your club, as it will not only provide you with new players, it can also earn you money in the future. Each prospect will be on trial with your club for 12 weeks, and in that time his skills will be evaluated. During this period, you can either keep him on trial or release him from the club. You can also manage the amount of openings you wish to have at a time, although it will add more cost to the club. You can expect to bring in up to 6 new prospects weekly. However, there must be enough space available, otherwise they will be automatically rejected. After 12 weeks have passed, you can opt to take the player or reject him. Each young player comes with an overview of his potential, without revealing his attributes, at least until you sign him. There are 4 main club competitions in FS: League, FS Cup, Country Club, and friendly fixtures. As mentioned before, both your main and youth squad will have their own divisions for leagues and cup fixtures. The club will participate in a league depending on the country selected on registration. There are cup competitions in every country represented in FS. Country-based cups will consist of 512 highest-ranking teams from the designated country. Cup matches are played every Tuesday. The FS Cup consists of the top 512 highest-ranking teams in the game. Games take place every Thursday. Main squad matches occur 20 ST, while youth squad matches occur at 18 ST. The fixture screen is also a place where you can set up your formations for upcoming matches and review them when needed. As a manager, you will be responsible for your team's tactics. Everything from general player instructions to reserve tactics is in your domain. The game offers visual enhancements that will facilitate selection of players and their respective positions on the pitch, much like in similar PC games. The 2 most important decisions you will make are what philosophy and strategy you will use in your matches, but more on that in the following releases. When setting up your lineup, you can also customize the player's position based on where the ball is situated with certain restrictions. We can only show off so many features at a first glance, but the game is full of exciting content, and we aim to add improvements constantly during and after beta. To finish off, we wanted to talk a bit about the way matches are simulated. There are 2 ways to view live matches: textual and 3D visual. Both options are available from the start of the match, and they are run simultaneously. The game uses the Unity web player to display matches in 3D visual on the browser. There is a small add-on required in order to be able to view 3D matches. The visual simulator features over 500 animations and gathers all the data from your club, such as stadium structure, amount of associates and visitors, and jersey selection, and displays it visually. What we are going for is each game will have a realistic representation of the match, starting from facilities down to the movement of the players. Beta testing will officially start April 1st. These types of games require intensive testing, including many users, in order to figure out what works and what doesn't. There are many formulas that make up FS, and although they may work on paper, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work in the game. So we will work around the clock to make sure we can launch the game a few weeks after beta, but we will take as much time as needed to make sure the game is ready. Although many consider beta testing as an almost finished game, this isn't the case. We have many features in mind that we plan to incorporate before launch. The game is of course free to play, but we plan to add a Plus system that will increase the visual appeal of the game for subscribers. Rest assured, however, that any and all enhancements we provide for Plus users will not affect the stability of the game and will be restricted to features that do not enhance your club's strengths in any form. We as gamers know the frustration behind the idea of pay-to-win games. If you would like to know more about FS, we encourage you to read our detailed rules page, or you may email us at contact@footballstrategy.org with any concerns. Please don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like us to show support. Thank you for watching this preview. Your football strategy team.